Even as Parliament remains deadlocked on the issue of Gautam Adani and the opposition has tried to come together against the Modi government, the cracks are becoming more clear. Tongues were set wagging when the TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee today met with Akhilesh Yadav in Kolkata. This comes close on the heels of her lashing out at the Congress after a by-poll defeat in Saradigi in a meeting that lasted 55 minutes. The two leaders were believed to have discussed the national scenario and how to take on the centre. With less than 300 days left for the big battle, various political parties are still working out their permutations and combinations for 2024, but it is becoming increasingly clear that in the Modi versus all battle in the next Lok Sabha elections, it is definitely not the Congress which is going to be in a position to dictate terms.
हमारी आपकी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि हम लोग इस संविधान को बचाने के लिए आगे आए, चाहे हमारी गिनती कम हो, लेकिन हम उनके साथ खड़े दिखाई देंगे जो हमारा संविधान देश का बचाना चाहते हैं। और हमें खुशी है इस बात की कि अगर बंगाल में यहां की मुख्यमंत्री दीदी आदरणीय ममता बनर्जी जी लड़ाई लड़ रही हैं, तो उत्तर प्रदेश में हम समाजवादी लोग भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मुकाबला करने का काम करेंगे।
मैंने कहा कि बंगाल में कौन जीतेगा, दीदी ज्यादा जीत करके आएंगे। झारखंड में कौन जीत करके आएगा, या बिहार में कौन जीत करके आएगा, या उत्तर प्रदेश में कौन जीतेगा। ये विषय नहीं है कि कौन आगे रहेगा, विषय ये है कि देश को बर्बाद करने वाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी देश से हटे। ये पद बड़ा है, इसका विचार हम सब लोग बैठ करके करेंगे। दल, दादा और हम सब मिलकर के दीदी के साथ हैं। लेकिन कांग्रेस के साथ नहीं, कांग्रेस के साथ कैसे हो जाएंगे हम?
Congress should not feel that they are the big boss of this opposition. तृणमूल कांग्रेस बीजेपी का खिलाफ में ये सरकार के बारे में एक दिन गांधी मूर्ति का प्रदेश में, चाहे वो LIC SBI के साथ अदानी को ये जोक को विषय पर प्रश्न उठाना। पहले चुनाव होने दो, जो स्टेट में जिसका शक्ति है वो शक्ति लेके वो लड़ेंगे। और ममता जी का यही भावना था, यही उनका दर्शन। उन्होंने पहले भी बोला, किसी नाम लेके अभी प्रधानमंत्री बोलने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है। हम लोग चुनाव के बाद निर्वाचन का स्थिति देख के बाद में ये विषय पर हम लोग निर्णय।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Shazia Almi continues with us, although I figure you won't have much to say. It's more about the TMC Congress and others dueling it out. Tushar Gupta, senior editor at Swaraj, is going to dwell on what the scene looks like now until 2024. Professor Manojit Mandal, spokesperson of Trinamool Congress, Sanjay Jha, author, and Sandeep Singh, political analyst. Sandeep Singh, let me start with you. The Congress at one time said that there cannot be a third front without it. Now, Akhilesh Yadav has said, aapse alliance nahi karna hai. आज तृणमूल ने भी बोल दिया कि आप बिग बॉस मत बनिए, आपका वो स्टैचर है नहीं।
देखिए, धीरे धीरे सब एकजुट होकर, आज आपने देखा होगा विपक्ष पूरा अडानी के मामले पर एकजुट है और अडानी के मामले पर सब सड़कों पर हैं। मोदी अडानी भाई भाई के नारे के साथ पूरा विपक्ष एकजुट होकर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी से सवाल पूछ रहा है। राहुल गांधी जी को सदन में नहीं बोलने दिया जा रहा है, इस पर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को जवाब देना चाहिए। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी
संसद में भी टीएमसी आपके साथ नहीं है।
राहुल गांधी जी की और
संसद में वो अलग से प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। संसद में भी जहां आप अडानी की बात कर रहे हैं, वो अलग से प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं।
पार्टियां सोनिया गांधी, राहुल गांधी, तमाम लोग सड़क से लेकर सदन तक अडानी और मोदी के अडानी मामले पर मोदी जी से जवाब मांग रहे हैं।
पर वो सड़क और सदन में भी आपके साथ नहीं है।
बताइए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी,
टीएमसी सड़क और सदन में भी आपके साथ नहीं है। हाँ, वो बीजेपी के खिलाफ है
और सदन में भी जाते हैं,
पर वो सड़क में भी आपसे अलग है और सदन में भी आपसे अलग है।
बनने की आएगी वो, देखिए थर्ड फ्रंट और इस चीजों की बात तो होती है, लेकिन ये देखिए जब यहां पर जो विपक्ष एकजुट है, अडानी के मामले पर क्यों बात नहीं होती, चर्चा अडानी के मामले पर क्यों नहीं होती कि अडानी के मामले पर सब एकजुट है।
ओके, प्रोफेसर मनोजीत मंडल, आप सब एकजुट हैं और आपको लगता है कि इवेंचुअली एकजुट होने के बाद द कांग्रेस विल बी द वन व्हिच इज गोइंग टू बी द लिंचपिन फॉर ऑपोजिशन यूनिटी?
एक अकेले राहुल गांधी को बदनाम करने के लिए,
अरे हियर द टीएमसी आल्सो सर,
पार्टी के मंत्री
आपके कहने से ही एकजुट थोड़ी ना हो जाएंगे, उनका भी एक ओपिनियन है, आप अपनी एकजुटता उन पे थोप थोड़ी ना सकते हैं। संदीप जी, don't talk down to other parties, let them also have a say, they have a voice.
Can I speak?
Professor Mandal, yes.
देखिए सबका
2024 for us is very clear, going to be between Bharat and Bharatiya Janata Party. It will be People's Front, where the people will lead to defeat a force which for the last 8-9 years has taken this country to the brink of collapse, to the verge of collapse. On every count, whether it is economy, whether it is employment, whether it is price rise, I do not need to go into that detail. Now, in this battle, whichever political party, without thinking itself to be the big brother or big boss, genuinely fights BJP, TMC will be that.
Okay, so on that note, let me play out for you what Jairam Ramesh said during Bharat Jodo Yatra. Professor Mandal, let me play out for you what Jairam Ramesh said, because the Congress is very clear that all of you are welcome to come along, but they are going to be at the center of the opposition. Let's listen.
अगर कांग्रेस मजबूत नहीं होती है, विपक्ष की एकता असंभव है। ये मानना कि विपक्ष की एकता करेंगे और कांग्रेस पार्टी से हम यहां से सीट लेंगे, यहां से सीट लेंगे, यहां से सीट लेंगे, ये जमाना गया। कांग्रेस पार्टी को मजबूत होना है और तभी विपक्ष की एकता आएगी।
Professor Manojit Mandal, they're saying that the only way you can have a coherent opposition is if the Congress is the one at the center.
I have understood. They have to come out of this delusion that Congress is the fulcrum of any opposition unity. Rather, it is because of the Congress BJP has risen in this country in the last 8-9 years. The statistics are very clear for you. They accused us of dividing votes in Meghalaya. And let me tell you, Meghalaya is a classic case. Had we not been in Meghalaya, the 5 seats that we won would have gone to BJP. We kept BJP under 2 and won 5. Congress could not do anything. That is a classic example of what Congress party is doing by almost surrendering themselves to BJP in Bengal or in other states. What is happening in Bengal is again a classic case. Look at in 2016 they had 42 seats. 42, I repeat. 2021 they came down to 0. And all those 42 seats had gone to BJP. So
Arrogance?
Suggest Meghalaya, Bengal, Goa, everywhere. The Congress, of course, they have to decide on that.
Sanjay Jha,
no political party in this country.
Deadly cocktail of surrendering plus delusions of grandeur, and now more and more parties who the Congress calls regional parties are saying, sorry, in terms of numbers, the Congress is almost a regional force.
Padmaja, before I answer your question, we have to credit Dr. Manmohan Singh with foresight, with clairvoyance. When he was asked this question as to what will happen to India if Mr. Modi becomes Prime Minister, he said he will be a monumental disaster. And I think Dr. Manmohan Singh was prophetic. Look at the state of the economy. Look at the Adani meltdown. I mean, India is currently today under a big question mark on its future as a very democratic country.
But
now, let me answer your question.
Yeah.
Now, let me answer your question. I actually believe that Jairam Ramesh wasn't saying anything wrong. What he was saying, I think Mr. Mandal probably missed it. He was saying that you need a strong Congress because that will only help the opposition fight back. And Mr. Kharge has been saying not once but several times as the Congress president that the Congress is not going to be a big brother. I think the Congress and the opposition realizes that
actually that's the opposite. That's the opposite of what he said. Let me play out for your benefit what Mr. Kharge said in Chhattisgarh. Let's listen to him.
Proudly says, no democratic man says like this. You are in democracy, you should remember You are not an autocrat. You are not a dictator. You are elected by people and people will teach you lesson in 2024. Alliance government will come in center. Congress will lead. We are talking with other parties because otherwise the democracy and constitution will go. We are sharing our views.
So Mr. Kharge was absolutely clear that 2024 alliance will come and Congress will lead. But what is their credential for anointing themselves the leader? Now, purely from the point of view of an election watcher, Tushar Gupta, will the alliance actually benefit if the Congress made a strategic retreat?
Padmaja, if the elections were to be fought on rhetorics, Congress would get 350 seats, undoubtedly. But unfortunately for the Congress, the elections are not fought on rhetorics. Now, the Samajwadi and TMC want to come together without the Congress. There are reasons for that. The Samajwadi has been dragged down by the Congress in one state assembly election. For the TMC in Bengal, Congress is absolutely worthless when it comes to getting the votes of the electorate. Now tell me, Padmaja, for average election watchers like you and me, why would a TMC, which is very strong in their state, why would a Samajwadi Party, which gave a good fight to the BJP in the 2022 elections, want to be led by the Congress, which suffered such a heavy defeat in Gujarat, did not even give up a fight? Now, elections are fought on the face. Who is the face of the opposition? The Congress wants to believe that they would present Rahul Gandhi and he would lead an opposition, which would be a third front or whatever they want to call it, and it would be comprised of most regional parties. But if you do the mathematics, they need the parties in Bihar, they need the parties in Bengal, in Maharashtra, in Karnataka, in Uttar Pradesh. But these parties are unwilling, because why would they want to leave their space for Rahul Gandhi, who is unable to win any state election? It's simple mathematics. It's not even something very complicated or rocket science like. The Congress today is a drag on itself by virtue of its leadership. Now tell me, why would any regional party, they may not win the Lok Sabha election, forget it. They might just end up at 10 Lok Sabha seats from their respective states, but they would be won on their own talent, on their own capacity. Why would they want to leave that space for the Congress, Padmaja? Tell me.
Sanjay Jha, today for any party to give even one seat to the Congress in seat sharing is one seat wasted. Why should they ally? I mean, look at the most recently concluded elections in the Northeast, in Tripura, in Meghalaya. You had everyone from Mamata Banerjee to Abhijit Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee, everyone campaigning. Rahul Gandhi did one rally, one.
Yes.
Why should they campaign for you? Why should they ally with you?
Okay, Padmaja, let me give you a short answer. Number one, all opposition parties, including the TMC, you heard Mr. Mandal speak some time back, everyone knows that India's democratic future, is constitutional, sacrosanct nature is being threatened by an authoritarian, autocratic Mr. Modi's government that is only running this country through CBI, ED and income tax. And I think that is a fact that nobody in the BJP or its cheerleaders can deny. And therefore, even if there are competitive battles that will happen in certain states, at the end of the day, post the election, a prime minister will be chosen collectively amongst the team. The reason why people probably assume it will be the Congress, because the Congress fights in more Lok Sabha seats.
Nobody is assuming. The Congress is saying as much. It doesn't help, sir, when you go around state to state, fight an election, cut into the votes of parties which stand an actual chance, and then say, "Arey, humko leader bana do." All that you are reduced to right now is that very unfortunate term of a vote katwa. Actually, these parties are saying, we think Modi government is autocratic, but can you please sit on the bench so we can actually fight them? Unlike you, who is helping us lose.
Well, Padmaja, let me tell you, I think you see the Congress being extremely accommodative in its political stance. Yes, there is a lot of rhetoric during the elections. If today, for example, the TMC and Samajwadi Party are coming together, I think personally the Congress will welcome it because it is a front against the BJP.
Sir, there is no rhetoric. Classic example is West Bengal. You went and allied with the left and the ISF, for heaven's sake, only in trying to cut into the TMC's votes. You could have done a strategic retreat, ensured that the BJP doesn't go past the 20+ figure in West Bengal elections. If only you sat out and said, okay, let the TMC take on the BJP. What did you achieve? How many MLAs do you have in West Bengal?
Padmaja, can I answer that question? Supposing the TMC were not to do well in the next election, does the TMC become politically relevant in the next assembly? Not at all. You see, political parties have grassroots presence, they have workers, they have leaders, and they have a right to make a comeback. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's all right. That's politics.
Okay, very quickly, Shazia Almi respond. I'll go back to Professor Mandal. Shazia Almi, yes.
Considering the sole and the end game of all these parties here is to defeat the BJP, I think you should allow me to come in and speak for my party. First of all, I wish good luck to Akhilesh Yadav. He's trying his luck after having tried it with the Congress party and then with BSP, now with TMC. So good luck to him. And I don't need not comment on that. But do you see what is happening here? All the parties and people are watching this also. They're ready to go against each other, but there is one glue that connects them all, which is Modi hatred, which is to defeat BJP.
Sure.
That sees the only purpose, that is the only vision, that is the only blueprint for India. So it is going to be BJP along with the people of India versus everyone else.
Well, to be fair, as the opposition, that is literally their job, to try and replace the government. So let's not fault them for that. As an opposition, what is their job?
Replace only BJP.
Their job is to want you gone.
The end game is to win elections. But I'm saying is all they want is they have nothing to say for themselves.
Okay.
But only against the BJP.
Okay. Everyone wants to quickly respond. Professor Mandal wanted to make a point to Sanjay Jha and Tushar Gupta also. Yes, go on.
No, I think again you took my words actually when you talk about who actually cut votes in Meghalaya. At one point of time, Padmaja must have watched that till around 1:32 p.m. on the counting day, 2nd of March, we were winning around 20 seats. Around 20. Ultimately, it came down to 5. And Congress got, I think, equal number of seats. Now, in terms of voting percentage, we had 15% of votes. Now, if the Congress were not there, or they would have allied with us instead of showing their arrogance. The leader, the principal leader of the Congress party probably went there only to abuse TMC. It would have been a different case. It would have been opposition government altogether. And yet now, the government is weak because of TMC. This government is weak. Meghalaya government is still weak. I tell you, they had only 29 seats. And they have managed some other seats which they are very well in doing. It's because of TMC, not because of Congress.
Okay.
The first thing that Congress needs to come out of is that we are going there to only cut votes. We are going there as a formidable force. We can ask the same question. What are they doing in Bengal?
Okay.
They are cutting our votes.
Okay, Tushar Gupta wants to come in, then I'll come to you, Sandeep Singh. Yes, and you hear a lot of this word being repeated. Arrogance, delusion.
Padmaja, I'll give you 3 scenarios. I'll give you 3 scenarios for the opposition in 2024. The first scenario is where Rahul Gandhi indeed comes together and gets the opposition parties together, including the TMC and the Samajwadi. Least likely to happen, that let's assume it. He's going to lose to Narendra Modi. Even the staunchest of the supporters of the Congress know that a Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi competition is a given result. Number 2 scenario, that the TMC and the Samajwadi stitch together in lines. Now, Padmaja, let's be honest. Who's going to vote for Akhilesh Yadav outside Uttar Pradesh? Let's say even he gets 80 seats. Let's say Mamata Banerjee gets all the 42 seats. They get 120 odd seats in the Lok Sabha election. Where are they going to get the another 150 seats from? And if they indeed end up getting those 150 seats, how are they going to decide upon the Prime Minister? Number 3, the Congress comes up with a third front where Rahul Gandhi is not the prime ministerial face. Now, are you going to tell the people of India that here is a cluster of parties, each significant or insignificant in the regions, and they are going to take on Narendra Modi? Again, that happened in 2019. We know the result. So the opposition is in a fix. But one thing is quite clear, and I agree with Professor Mondal here, that the Congress has to let go of its arrogance. Congress. Look, the Congress needs a reality check. The regional parties today in their respective regions are in far stronger positions. The problem is the Congress is unwilling to respect that. They still want to play that big brother part when they are no longer having that leverage, that electoral leverage on them. So my question is, where is the scenario where the opposition actually emerges as a threat to the BJP?
Absolutely. So as an election strategist once said just before 2019, that on the one hand you have a scenario where each one of these so-called regional parties fight in their stronghold, then come together post-election and strategically field their candidates so that nobody is cutting into each other's votes. Or you have where a Congress goes and damages each one of them in their respective states and then also for good measure calls them regional forces or small parties. The choice is before this entire opposition bloc. Let's see. We still have a few months left. Interesting times ahead. Thanks very much, all gentlemen and Shazia Almi, for joining me. Thanks for watching.